Well, good morning. October 9th. Windy day. Few showers under a rain and storm warning for the island for today and tonight. And seeing we're into this birthday thing. Happy birthday to Theo. Have a good one. Trust everybody is good. You know, there's a whole lot of stuff going on right now. Just a whole lot of stuff. And, you know, we're all on this Wuhan waltz thing. Reading an article today where they figure we're going to be in this thing for 2 years, masked up in this masquerade. And it's sort of interesting. And there's all kinds of that sort of things going on. I see Pelosi is up doing another circus stunt. I guess depends which camp you're in. You might think she's Joan of Arc, or you might think she's the Wicked Witch of the Northwest. So it depends which camp you're in. I don't know, but I think a lot of people are sort of so distracted they're not looking after watching what might happen to their money. And some people just don't give a damn. And I was thinking of that this morning. You know, when I look at a guy like Prime Minister Trudeau, does he really understand the value of money? See, as realize, I'm not sure if you've checked any of the links in the last few days, because we've been sort of on this subject of money and government debt. And, you know, when an individual gets into debt, there's obviously the idea is to pay off the debt. And what if governments have no plan to pay off their debt? They just keep rolling along like drunken sailors. And so that brings me back to Trudeau. Does he have an idea of the value of a dollar? You know, if you're a logger or a miner or a fisherman or a waitress or anyone working in those labor fields, understand how much effort is put in to earn a dollar. Maybe we individuals spend like drunken sailors as well and don't pay attention to their money. But I think one thing for sure, you talk to anybody who is working underground, they know the risk they're taking, they know how hard they have to work. If they're a development miner, if they're just one of the people along for the ride, that's different. But they're really the followers out in the bush. Like I say, the waitress on that busy in a busy restaurant, just running her butt off or his butt off. You know what it takes to earn those dollars. But now Trudeau's never done any work like that. A lot of our politicians and leaders have not done work like that. Some of them may have, as when they were going through school, but most of them never have. Like Trudeau comes from a very, very wealthy family, and it's easy for a politician to go and spend other people's money. They're not thinking about it. And I have a link today in the description, and there's several links, but there's one about the bankrupt Canadian casino that Canada has sent $200 million to. Think about that. I'll let you listen to the clip, and then you can sort of research that yourself if you have a mind to, and it'll give you more of a sense. And it's all crazy to me. But the other thing that is a lot of people aren't thinking about, and they're saying it'll never happen, is the digital dollar coming. And they're working on that in a lot of ends. China's already got theirs rolling. Here's an interesting thing. Who ruled the world in the middle, say in the 1500s, Middle Ages? Who was the world power? I think, no, I'd have to just double check that. But it was through the Ming Dynasty. Who was the world power? The Chinese. And at that time, they used silver was more valuable than gold. They brought in this whole taxation system that instead of collecting rice and chickens and whatever from the population to pay their taxes, an emperor decided that was a bit cumbersome, and it wasn't efficient, and it was one handful of rice was not the same quality as another handful, sort of thing. So they start using silver as their form of taxation. Silver coins. Sort of interesting. But today, so China's already got their digital currency going. They're testing it on population bigger than Canada. Canada's thinking about it. The Bank of Canada, the IMF, the United States. In the U.S., they have the Banking for All Act. And in that, they're thinking of having this in place for January. Now, whether they will or not sure. But when you look at how in debt the world is, and the idea they're never going to pay this back, what usually they do is have a war, kill a few people, keep that population in check, reset the financing, and everybody's happy. And the guys at the top are collecting from both ends, and everybody rolls along. We're all bullshitted into believing whatever they tell us. So this digital currency, there's a question whether each country going to have their own. Is it going to be a IMF centralized currency? But look at some of these links. I don't want to go into it all the information, because it's done very, very succinctly by some people, some really good people. And it'll give you an idea of the what ifs, if this strikes, the possibilities, what it looks like is going to happen. And we say everybody says it's your money, look after it. Nobody's going to manage your money as well as you do. And nobody will care about your finances as much as you should. And a lot of us are brainwashed on into thinking that way. We leave our money with so-called financial advisors who can't find their butts with both hands. I talked to some today who are still suggesting mutual funds or bonds. I mean, it's asinine. Right now, the way things are, that's asinine. And about who's to say? I mean, I guess if you're 12 years old, you got a whole long time ahead of you. But if you're in my situation, your children are as old as your grandparents are. When you were a kid, you don't have that long of a time to go let some twit fiddle around with your finances. Look after them yourself. So this digital currency thing it's a scary situation. No, maybe you have a few $100,000 in the bank, and you have some RSPs, and you have everything set up, and you're just sort of rolling along. I remember in the last, I think it was in 2008 era, a fellow had $400,000 that he had put in the bank and in investments. And at that time, he thought it was enough to keep him going. Then everything went south, and he had to go back working. So gotta think about that. Well, you don't have to. I know there's a lot of people, if they had a guaranteed $1,000 a month digital currency, a lot of people would say, hey, great, I can do that. I can sit on my butt and just sit home, and not that that's wrong. They might be smarter than the rest of us trying to create more. Maybe they'll just sit there and enjoy themselves and go fishing or sailing every day. So it's worth a thought. Trust you are all set up for a good Thanksgiving weekend. Of course, all of our WHO people, the World Health Organization, are worrying about this virus thing. It's interesting. If this Wuhan waltz was as dangerous as it is, why are people, our officials, medical people, 10 months in, still don't have testing under control? If it is as dangerous as they are all trying to let everybody believe, why haven't they got testing really going well and smoothly. I mean, it's still screwed up. Now, I think I saw yesterday BC has tested 12,000 people. There's 4.5 million people in British Columbia. I mean, they haven't tested hardly anybody. I mean, they test up people who show on the doorstep gasping for breath. That's who they test. But what about the rest of the people? So it's food for thought. But anyway, take care. Here's to a good long weekend. Play safe. Have a wild time in a positive sense. Bye for now. See you again.